Welcome to this edition of the Archive by the Education Media Unit, a publication in which we focus on the Ministry's efforts for continued growth within education in the Federation. In this edition, the Ministry of Education receives judicious donations from the Scannellis. St. Kitts and Nevis, winner of the 2016 OECS reading competition, and Kittitian-born author releases book in hometown of Sandy Point. But first, in an effort to train teachers in school safety solutions and enhance its school safety policy, the Ministry of Education, in partnership with USAID Office of Foreign Disaster, conducted a workshop for the draft of a school safety policy. Mrs. Amanda Serrant-Edmeade, Education Officer, outlined some of the plans that the Ministry intends to implement following this workshop.
We are all going to continue the completion of the school safety policy, and we're also going to look at the training, ensuring that there is the teachers and principals from each school complete the school safety course. Okay, and from there is a 5-year plan by USAID OFTA, which will include continuous training as well as summer workshops for children and so on. We're also looking at Red Cross training in first aid.
The USAID Office of Foreign Disaster has assisted the Ministry of Education with such efforts in the past, in keeping with regulatory training of teachers and other school staff, and was pleased to lend its expertise with the development of this policy. The Sadler's Primary School are the winners of the first Consumer Affairs quiz. Mr. Gian Phillip and Miss Destiny Harvey outshined their competitors in a 5-round Consumer Affairs contest to be adjudged the winners, with Gian Phillip walking away with the Most Outstanding Student Award.
In second place with 90 points, Beach Allen Primary. Second place, Beach Allen Primary. Today's winner is Sadler's Primary.
Was it
Sadler's Primary with 150 points.
okay. You should clap for yourself.
This venture was a part of the Ministry of International Trade, Industry, Commerce and Consumer Affairs Week of Activities, which ran from Monday 13th to Friday 18th March. The Beach Allen Primary, Datebia Primary, Sadler's Primary, and George Moody Stewart Schools all competed in the final round after successfully winning their respective zones. Ricky Keshwin-Vasan, student of the Maud Cross Preparatory School of Nevis, traveled to Dominica, where he outperformed his 5 competitors in a keenly contested competition to be adjudged the winner of the 2016 Courts OECS reading competition held at the Arawak House of Culture on Thursday, March 3rd. Ricky Keshwin-Vasan won the National Courts reading competition in September 2015. St. Kitts and Nevis is going green for Earth Week 2016. In commemoration of Earth Week 2016, a week of activities is being planned to acknowledge Earth Day 2016, a first in the country's history. The Education Media Unit was on hand to capture this momentous launch of the Earth Week initiative, held at the St. Kitts Eco Park with a packed house comprising of civil society and private sector partners. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Honorable Sean Richards, reaffirmed the Ministry's support to the Earth Week Committee in this venture as it seeks to make a difference towards a healthy, prosperous, and sustainable future.
We recognize, though, that as the future leaders of St. Kitts and Nevis, we need to begin to teach our children different ways in which they can preserve our environment. Within the schools, apart from the different lessons that are taught, especially the science lessons, we are also doing various things to ensure that there is that preserving of our own natural resources.
He went on to state the ministry's contributions thus far.
Very recently also, we donated a number of agricultural equipment to all of the schools in St. Kitts and Nevis, in particular greenhouses, because we also recognize within the Ministry of Education that there is much advantage that we are able to grow food organically.
Spokesperson for the Earth Week Committee, Mrs. Caroline Henry Morton, emphasized the importance of setting good examples for the youths of the nation.
We have to excite and engender that collective consciousness to advance a movement that places priority on conservation, on preservation, on sustainability. This is exactly the spirit and mission of Earth Week 2016 St. Kitts and Nevis, being celebrated under the theme, We Are Going Green. It is about promoting self-empowerment, self-confidence, achieving success through conscious and concerted effort. We are on a mission to change perceptions and behaviors through sustained and concerted effort.
Earth Day is an annual worldwide observation celebrated on April 22nd, featuring events that demonstrate and encourage action and support for environmental protection. In other stories, Kittitian-born author launches book at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. The town of Sandy Point has produced yet another published author. John Chris Richardson, son of Enid Richardson, past educator and principal of the boys' school, launched his book entitled Looking Back Through the Eyes of a Teacher's Son at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. The book is said to document the molding of his younger years as influenced by his parents. Chris's story captured the cultural and social lives, in particular of the town's inhabitants, as well as some aspects of the lives of the Richardson family itself. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Honorable Sean Richards, viewed this project as one to encourage youths to explore. He stated,
It is moments like these that need commemorating as our young boys and females to look into the world for role models. They need to see through exercises as these that the streets and alleyways of our communities can be the setting to amass the peace.
Author Mr. Chris Richardson urged the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis to look within. He explained,
I think of the Caribbean region and the small island states that we are. We continue to invest, we continue to rely on what we call FDI, foreign direct investments. And it is good, but we need to search within.
He advised the audience to hone and develop the talent within the youths of the Federation. More education news. In an effort to develop work plans leading to improved access and quality of education, educators within the Federation participated in a 3-day workshop. Opening the ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Honorable Sean Richards, commended the core team and urged the professionals to keep up the momentum.
After careful analysis of the education system and broad-based consultations on the state of education in the Federation, the Ministries of Education in St. Kitts and Nevis have reached consensus on the policy goals to be pursued over the next 5 years to strengthen education provision in St. Kitts and Nevis. As mentioned in the opening remarks, we must work to improve equitable access and participation at all levels, particularly in secondary school and beyond. Most students need to successfully complete a full 5-year cycle of secondary education in order to receive adequate preparation for the world of work and/or higher education.
The ministry has been working to develop this plan to guide policy action over the next 5 years and to align its policies with initiatives such as the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States Education Sector Strategy, as well as the new Global Mandate for Education for All, which promises inclusive and quality education and the promotion of lifelong learning. Facilitator, Mr. Marcus Edwards, Education Planning Specialist and Chief Education Officer out of St. Lucia, explained why the sector development plan was relevant at this time.
The formulation of the plan has been preceded, and as Dr. Pemberton alluded, by an education sector diagnosis, which presented a thorough assessment of the education sector to enable one to get a sense of the extent to which the operations, the programs, the strategies and policies were relevant and effective. This ESD, or Education Sector Diagnosis, identified a number of issues that required immediate, long-term, medium-term interventions, as well as laid the foundation for the development of this new Education Sector Development Plan.
Workshop participants included representatives from both ministries of education within the Federation, including education officers, curriculum officers, heads of departments, and principals of various high schools. And finally, on the archive by EMU, the Ministry of Education receives yet another donation from John and Brenda Scannelli. The Scannellis, as the Ministry of Education has come to affectionately know them after years of consistent generosity, handed over a 40-foot container containing essential materials that would benefit all children at every level of education. The Scannellis have a long history of community service within the Caribbean, particularly for the past 12 years in the Federation, where they initially assisted the renovating and refurnishing of the children's home. Mr. Darrell Lloyd, Deputy Chief Education Officer, thanked the Scannellis for their donations and partnership.
The Ministry of Education needs partners if it is to succeed at its mission in meeting the needs of all of our children as we transition into a new revised primary school curriculum. The Scannellis have not only joined the ministry in its pursuits, but has risen to the occasion in a tangible manner through the presentation of this noteworthy donation.
Mrs. Scannelli vouched both herself and her husband's continued support to the education system and youths of St. Kitts and Nevis.
We really do want to assist the teachers in preparing students for meeting the challenges of the 21st century by helping to create a learning environment where students are stimulated and encouraged to reach their highest and greatest potential. It's been a pleasure collaborating with the teachers and math coordinators on St. Kitts and Nevis, Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, Old Dominion University in Virginia during the past couple of years, and the many principals and teachers that we've met with over the years and gotten to know and made a deep friendship with kind of forever to enhance the educational experience for the children.
Akila Henry, your presenter on this edition of the Archives from the Ministry of Education's Media Unit. Remember, we don't just simply rewind, we remind. For further information, please contact the Education Media Unit at 467-1111 or 467-1520.